to meet the men from the ministry. We're about to go round in government circles with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In the General Assistance Department, a small body of alert and efficient troubleshooters stand by to help any government department that's overloaded. Today we find Lamb and Lennox-Brown tackling the problems of the post office.
The answer to this staff shortage is birds. Use carrier pigeons to deliver telegrams.
Would that work, do you think?
Yes, and if you crossed a pigeon with a woodpecker, you'd have a bird that carried the message and knocked on the door when it got there.
Splendid. Oh.
For three, lovely cup of tea.
Ah, thank you, Mildred. Yes, put it on the bar billiard table there, would you?
Yeah. What's the matter with Mr. Lamb? He looks busy. Or is he having one of his turns?
We're making plans to streamline and modernize the post office.
Yes, we've been looking at the parcel post. Now, did you know that they have special codes for handling parcels?
No, I didn't know that.
If a parcel's labelled fragile, that means it can be dropped from a height not exceeding 6 feet.
Or perishable? That means it can be kept in the back of a post office van for not more than 3 months.
We shall put a stop to all that.
How?
Oh, we'll abolish the parcel post altogether.
Abolish the parcel post? But what will people do with their parcels?
Ah, now they'll still queue up at the post office. But when they get to the counter, they'll pay £1 and be lent a map and a pair of hiking boots.
What's that thing on your desk, Mr. Lamb?
Ah, that's my new invention, Mildred. It's a device for delivering tax demands to people who try to escape by living on yachts and houseboats.
Yeah, but what is it?
A torpedo. We're rather enjoying this job.
Oh, yes, and we were also asked to find new dialing services to increase telephone revenue.
There's to be a service for lonely people with hiccups.
Lonely people with hiccups?
Yes, they dial this number and a voice at the other end shouts, boo. Dial-a-shock, we call it.
And we've also started a dial-a-joke service.
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Oh, yes. You see, if you're fed up, you dial this number and you hear a new joke every day.
I've collected lots from Christmas crackers. Listen to this one, Mildred. What are the Russians doing in Poland?
I don't know. What are the Russians doing in Poland?
Wait for it, Mildred. Oh, you're going to like this. They're holding up the telegraph wires.
Do what?
No, Two. You've got it all. You've got it all wrong. That should be, what are the Poles doing in Russia?
Oh.
Holding up the telegraph wires?
Yes.
Oh, law.
Oh, you've heard it. Never mind, the others are even better.
That shouldn't be difficult.
This dial-a-joke service will be a winner.
We've put copies of all our post office work in this file, Mildred. Now, would you pop it over to Sir Gregory Pitkin's office, please?
Yes, sir. But he's not back from his weekend on the East Coast yet.
The East Coast? I hope he's taking something warm.
Yeah, Miss Benchwater from the typing pool.
It's one of his short weekends, Mildred. He's back on Thursday. And when he sees what we've done for the post office, I think he'll be quite excited.
Of all the blundering, half-witted lunacy, of all the bone-headed crass stupidity. Come! Ah, Mr. Steele.
Good morning, Sir Gregory. Oh, you look upset. Nothing wrong, I trust?
There's a great deal wrong. Those idiots, Lamb and Lennox-Brown, have created havoc.
Oh, dear.
Well, listen to this. They've made the suggestion for keeping dogs away from postmen. It's nonsense.
You mean it wouldn't work?
Well, it might work in theory, but how many postmen will be willing to keep a ferret up each trouser leg? The Permanent Undersecretary Pitkin here. What? They done what? I don't believe it. Who handled the job? Lennox-Brown and Lamb. I believe it. Just wait till I get my hands on them. I'll strangle them both, personally. The post office people say Lennox-Brown and Lamb have started a dial-a-joke service.
Oh, not a bad idea.
In view of the number they chose, a very bad idea.
Really? Well, what number are they using?
Well, they thought they'd made up a new one, but by a horrible coincidence, they managed to hit on an existing private number at a house in Downing Street.
Not him.
Yes. People dialing the joke service are getting straight through to the Prime Minister.
Oh, dear me, how very unfortunate.
Oh, well, the dial-a-joke seems to work all right, eh?
Pity we haven't got hiccups. We could dial a shock as well. Should we try it, just for fun?
Why not? Why not? Let's have a nasty fright.
Lennox-Brown!
That's the sort of thing. Morning, Sir Gregory.
Hello, sir. I expect you're here to congratulate us. Did you like our post office work?
You incompetent, dunder-headed nitwits. You bird-brained, half-baked imbeciles.
Don't be evasive, Sir Gregory. Did you like it or not?
Silence! I understand it was you who organized this dial-a-joke service.
Yes, that's right, sir. Yes, you may think it's rather frivolous, you know, but we felt it would be popular.
We tested it just now.
Oh, yes, we laughed a lot, Sir Gregory. We did, you know. There was this chap, you see, impersonating the Prime Minister.
That was the Prime Minister.
Oh, glory.
The number you gave for this ludicrous project is the PM's private line. People keep ringing him up and asking him to say something funny.
Why don't they just go down and hear him in Parliament?
My colleague's trying to apologize, Sir Gregory. I mean, you know, and to say that, well, we all make mistakes, don't we?
The only mistake I made was letting you two run this department, but not anymore. There's to be a major command reshuffle.
Is that good news or bad news, Sir Gregory?
Don't speak to me, Lamb. Just don't speak to me, or I may do you a permanent mischief.
Thank you.
As I was saying, I'm appointing an overlord to run this office. You will continue in your present roles, but henceforth, Mr. Rodney Steele will be in charge.
In charge of us, Sir Gregory?
Yes, he'll stamp out inefficiency and get this place running properly, and if you don't like it, you can both put in for a transfer.
A transfer, Sir Gregory?
To archives at Ballymucky.
Oh, but that's in the Outer Hebrides.
A population of 5, and 3 of them are sheep.
Don't fancy the idea, eh? Then you'd better buckle to and work under Mr. Steele. And remember, one more bungle from either of you, and it's first stop Ballymucky.
I couldn't ring earlier, Bernard. It's not so easy now this blooming overlord's running the office. Oh, yeah, right pain in the elbow he is. Very smooth, he knows everything. He's got about 6 university degrees. What? No. All Mr. Lamb's got is that certificate from the Civil Service Garden Show. Yeah, second biggest cucumber. Well, of course he's upset. They both are, with this clever dick bossing them about. And the changes he's made in the office. OK, Bernard, I've got to go too. I'll see you at lunch. I don't know. From early dawn to set of sun, the typist's work is never done. Here we are, second cup's all round.
Thank you, Mildred, thank you. Type out that stuff for Mr. Steele, will you? You know he likes everything done yesterday.
Righty-ho, sir.
Having Steele on our backs makes me nervous. I wish we could get rid of him.
Yes, but it won't be easy, you know. I found out today he's Sir Gregory's nephew.
So that's how he got the job.
That's it.
Just think, if Sir Gregory were my uncle, I'd be promoted too.
No work to do, Lamb?
Yes, Uncle Gregory. Sir Gregory.
Good morning, Sir Gregory. Mr. Steele.
I'm here to brief you all on your next assignment. Now, Rodney, you know the purpose of the General Assistance Office?
Yes, sir. We exist to help any other department that's temporarily overstretched.
Exactly. Any department at all, except the Post Office, they've asked to be crossed off the list.
I can imagine.
Past efforts haven't always had happy results. But under your supervision, I'm sure future work will be faultless.
I entirely agree.
Good. You asleep, Lennox-Brown?
No, I was just resting my eyes, Sir Gregory.
Well, pay attention. Your next jobs will be various MAD projects.
Oh, we've done some pretty mad ones in the past.
Lamb, MAD, Ministry of Aviation Development. I have a file here full of various tasks they want carried out as soon as possible.
Yes, well, just leave it to us, Sir Gregory.
Leave it to me, I think you mean.
Oh.
I dare say you two can make some small but useful contributions, like licking stamps and envelopes. But the guiding hand will be mine.
Well said, Rodney.
Thank you.
Now, you see, the first item concerns Snedfield Airport, a new hangar for Britain's latest giant airliner. Here's the file with all the details.
Oh, thank you, sir. It will all be taken care of.
Good, good. And let me tell you something, Lennox-Brown.
Oh, yes, Sir Gregory, yes.
For the first time in my life, I leave this office with confidence.
Confidence, Sir Gregory?
Confidence that your work will be done correctly. With Mr. Steele in command, I know that the ship won't sink.
Ship? I thought he said it was an aeroplane.
No. Right, Mr. Steele, well, what's to be done then?
Well, from a glance at these papers, it seems perfectly simple. A prefabricated hangar. It won't take me long, a few days, perhaps. We must have plans drawn up. Now, I've contacts who can do that by Friday.
We need an enormous hangar. It says here 100 yards long.
Yards, Mr. Lamb? Oh, please. That term is antiquated. You can convert those yards to meters for me.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's simple enough. Yes.
Of course. 1 meter equals 1.093614 yards.
It does? I mean, it does.
Yes.
Oh, it does, yes. Yes, well, now, let's see. Let's see. Of course, 100 goes into... carry 3. 2. This is rather more your line. You deal with it, will you?
Me? Well, I've lost the office pencil.
It's clear that you're both incapable of doing it.
Incapable? Now,
Yes.
look here, Mr. Steele. I haven't been in the civil service all these years for nothing.
Oh, my word. You mean they actually pay you? Give that to me, Mr. Lamb. I'll do it. There. That's the figure you want.
By Jove, if I weren't a gentleman, I'd hit him.
What was that?
Yes, I said meters do seem to be more fitting, yes.
I'm lunching with Sir Gregory at his club, so leave this hangar business for my attention this afternoon. I'll tie it up then.
Oh, very well, yes. 2, we'll take a stroll in the park.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I suggest you stay here and find a job suited to your talents.
Well, what do you mean by that, sir?
Sweep out the office. It's filthy.
Oh, he can't say that to me, you know.
No, it's not filthy at all. I swept it only yesterday.
He's made a big mistake, too. He's upset me, you know. He's upset me. You can see it, can't you? He really has upset me. And I'm going to deal with Mr. Steele. And I think I see the way to do it.
Here we are, lovely cup of char.
Thank you, Mildred.
Oh, you look more cheerful lately. Getting used to Mr. Steele, are you?
We don't aim to get used to him, Mildred. We aim to get rid of him.
How could you do that?
We had a brilliant idea on last week's hangar job. You see, the plan said yards, but he wanted meters, so it would be more metric, and we had to divide 100 yards long by £3.10 and multiply the hangar by... you explain, Martin.
I suppose there's no harm in your knowing, Mildred, as long as you don't tell us so. Now, we changed some of the measurements from meters to millimeters.
Go on.
Yes.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, it means it's quite... What does it mean, Martin?
No, Nolly, look, I explained to you at the time, too, didn't I? For over an hour I was at it. It means, Mildred, that they will by now have erected at Snedfield Airport a new hangar 100 yards long and only 2 feet wide.
Oh, I say.
Yes.
And as Mr. Steele insisted that he was doing it, he'll get the blame.
It's a bit of a sneaky trick, though.
No, not at all, not at all. If Steele hadn't been so arrogant, he'd have checked and spotted it.
Sir Gregory will go mad when he hears about that long, thin hangar. I can't wait to see his face.
Ah, there you are.
Well, I could have waited a little longer.
Good afternoon, Sir Gregory.
Oh, cut out the flattery, Lennox-Brown.
Oh.
I just had a call from Snedfield Airport.
I'm sure you have, Sir Gregory.
Two. Have you indeed, sir?
I have, about this new hangar.
I can assure you, Sir Gregory, it has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do at all.
Mr. Steele took it right out of our hands. We're not to blame.
Blame? What do you mean? This is a matter for congratulation.
Are you sure, Sir Gregory?
Well, Snedfield are delighted with their long, thin hangar. Just the thing for this rocket they have to look after. 100 yards long and 2 feet wide.
I can't believe it.
Well, they had thought you'd fix the aircraft hangar first, but no doubt Steele felt this had priority. He's really on his toes. Ah, here he is. Come in, my dear chap. Well done. Snedfield are very pleased.
Yeah, well, one does one's best, you know.
Well, your best is good enough for me. I'm glad to know you'll be responsible for sending these Viscounts to America.
Oh, is that the next job? I haven't heard about it.
Oh, the order's in the folder, Rodney. But don't worry about that now. Tomorrow will do. Come and have a spot of lunch in my club.
Oh, very kind of you. I'd be delighted.
No. After you, my dear chap.
I don't think it's going to work.
Well, I wasn't to know they wanted a hangar for some confounded rocket, was I? The fellow has a charmed life. If he fell in a sewer, he'd come up smelling of aftershave.
What's this next job? Can't we fix him on that?
Well, the next job is sending 25 Viscounts to America.
I say, won't that leave the House of Lords a bit short?
Look, too, a Viscount is a kind of aircraft. Just a minute, though. Just a minute. If you thought I meant human Viscounts, now, he'd never be so daft. Would he?
Well, I never. You mean Mr. Steele's really been and gone and sent 25 British aristocrats to America?
Yes, he packed them off in a plane last Friday. First class, of course.
I can hardly believe it. You think he'd know Viscounts are aeroplanes?
Well, there are Viscount aircraft and human Viscounts, aren't there? You see, the trick was to make that Bounder Steele think America wanted the latter.
We took the Viscount order out of the aircraft file, put it on Steele's desk next to his copy of Burke's Peerage.
Yeah, sure, the book that lists the British nobility.
Luckily, Steele's a great snob. Burke's Peerage is his Bible.
Yes, he's a bit of a Burke himself.
But I don't know how he got 25 Viscounts to go.
Why, you just put up a notice in the House of Lords offering a complimentary joyride with free beer.
I'm surprised Sir Gregory hasn't been in by now.
Oh, didn't you know? He's had a few days in Wales doing a study of British wildlife.
British wildlife?
Yeah, he had Miss Bentwater with him again. Is that today?
Oh, then I think we may hear from him rather soon.
Steele won't wriggle out of this one.
Can you imagine Sir Gregory's reaction? All those old josses from the House of Lords living it up at the taxpayers' expense.
There you are. Now, I've just had a cable from America.
I'm sure you have, Sir Gregory.
Two. Keep it. America, eh? Well, I can assure you, Sir Gregory, it has nothing to do with us. Nothing at all.
Mr. Steele took the American job right out of our hands.
Yes.
Did he? Then sending 25 pairs of the realm over there was entirely his doing?
Yes, Sir Gregory. Good. Oh, what an awful mistake.
Nonsense. Splendid idea. The PM's delighted.
Delighted?
And the Americans are fascinated. All these distinguished gentlemen riding on the streetcars in their ermine robes and coronets. They're the toast of New York. They're accused at every British tourist office. And this stunt will be an excellent boost for the Viscount aircraft they're getting next week.
You'd better sit down, man. Your glasses have steamed up again.
Well, I'm most impressed by young Steele. He's well, there aren't words to describe it.
There are, Sir Gregory. I've just thought of a couple of new ones.
I gather he's seeing the minister. He'll go a long way, that boy. Oh, and there's a couple of new little jobs for the General Assistance Department.
Oh?
There's one for the British Council in this file, and a job for the Home Office in that file. Let Mr. Steele handle both.
Oh, if you say so, sir.
You feel superfluous, do you? Like a spare cake at a wedding?
Well, I wouldn't have put it quite like that, sir.
Don't worry, there's always a place for you two in archives at Ballymucky.
Oh, Shall I put the kettle on, sir?
Yes, please, Mildred. Make a nice pot of arsenic. And pour a cup for Mr. Steele.
Is that wise one? We'd be the first suspects.
Oh, I wasn't serious, too.
Oh, good.
But unless something marvellous happens soon, we might have to consider it.
What are these new jobs, sir?
The Home Office want us to finalise arrangements for the annual police display at Earl's Court on Saturday the 6th. Oh, that's tomorrow.
And the British Council have asked us to help this French ballet company, where to fix them transport for their show at the Albert Hall. That's tomorrow, too.
Something marvellous has just happened.
Well, you've got that happy look you had when Sir Gregory fell downstairs.
I think a little switch is called for here, but there's not much time. Now, I'll go and make the practical arrangements. Too, you find Steele and get his signature on those files so that he's responsible, huh?
You are clever, Mr. Lennox-Brown,
Oh.
but naughty with it.
Switch? You mean send the ballet people to do the police show and vice versa? But what'll happen?
And now for the rest of the news. The Home Secretary has ordered an inquiry into incidents at Saturday's police display at Earl's Court. The opening display of new police uniforms provoked strong audience reaction. The uniforms turned out to be, for the men, white tights and close-fitting yellow tunics covered with gold spangles, and for policewomen, short frilly skirts and flesh-coloured skin. There was further uproar during an item billed as a demonstration of unarmed combat by D Division. In this, a policewoman in black tights leapt into the arms of a policeman in Harlequin costume. The man, billed as Detective Sergeant Hodge, threw her in the air and caught her by the rostrum. He then pirouetted off the stage. The Prime Minister, who was guest of honour, left the display at this point, apparently believing it was finished, as he was heard to mutter, "This is the end." The next item, described as modern crowd control, featured a chorus of constables in white tutus dragging a troublemaker across the stage by one leg. And as the display continued, a section of the audience began to chant, "Hurrah for the fairy fuzz." The inquiry will start at once. That's the end of the news.
Oh, you don't think we've gone too far, do you?
No, this will fix Steele for good.
And now, the living arts. Critic Ernest Leeper reviews the new ballet premiered at the Albert Hall on Saturday.
Well, you know, I liked it. Yes, I liked it because it was, how can I put it, unusual. The human dilemma, so boldly symbolized by the roar of motorcycles and the wail of police sirens. The black uniforms with silver buttons and the helmets, they all said so much. I loved the simple marching movements in which the males were accompanied by female dancers quite effectively impersonating Alsatian dogs.
Switch it off, too. We've heard enough.
Sir Gregory can't be pleased with any of that.
I hear he's in a filthy temper anyway. He didn't get his usual weekend trip to the coast. He asked Miss Bentwater, but she wouldn't go.
Ah, there you are. Oh, hello, Sir Gregory. Sorry you didn't get it this weekend.
What?
Your trip to the coast. I'm sorry you didn't get it.
Now, listen, you two.
Yes.
I've just heard from the British Council and the Home Office.
I'm sure you have, Sir Gregory.
Two. Wait a minute. Have you indeed, sir?
Yes, I have. The police display team were put into the Albert Hall for a ballet show, and the dance company took their place.
My word. What a frightful clangor.
It is a clangor, isn't it, Sir Gregory? You are annoyed, aren't you?
Annoyed? I'm livid. Heads are going to roll for this.
Oh, good.
Better get out of the way when Mr. Steele's head rolls. It's a pretty big one.
Steele? What are you talking about? He bears no blame for this. I gather that after his meeting with the minister, he went straight off on a mission.
What? But he signed the files, didn't he, too?
No, I couldn't find him. Does it matter?
Oh.
Chloe, the fault is entirely yours. And this time you've gone too far. You're out. It's ballet mucky for both of you.
Sir Gregory, we appeal to you.
You don't. And you never have done. And now I've a chance to get rid of you. I'm going to take it. Mr. Steele can run this office on his own.
Morning, Uncle Gregory. Sorry I'm back a little late from the weekend.
It's all right, my boy. It's good that you had a break. Now, from today, you'll run this office alone.
Oh, so soon? I thought it would take another fortnight.
Anyway, you were on a mission for the minister, weren't you?
Yes, he sent me to Brighton for a weekend conference, but all work and no play makes Rodney a dull boy, you know, so I took a young lady with me. A charming creature from the typing pool.
Oh, yeah, there are some very pretty fish in that pool.
Yes, an amusing child. She seems to have taken a fancy to me. Unusual name, Daphne Bentwater.
Well, What did you say?
Miss Bentwater, do you know her?
Know her? She's Well, Daphne and I have... we've been, every week, if not oftener, for years.
Oh dear. Have I done something out of turn?
Get out! Get out before I throw you out!
Oh, but Uncle Gregory...
Wait in my office. I'll deal with you in a moment.
Very well.
How dare he, the immoral, lecherous rake? Oh, he'll have to go. No, I'll get rid of him at once.
But who'll run the office, sir?
What? Oh, well, Mr. Lennox-Brown and Mr. Lamb had better stay on. I may be in a little hasty just now, gentlemen.
Yes, well, never mind, Sir Gregory. We all make mistakes.
What about Mr. Steele, Sir Gregory? You said he should go a long way.
And so he should. Miss Murfin?
Sir?
Make out a railway warrant.
Where to, sir?
Ballymucky.
Muddling through as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor. To meet the men from the ministry. Join us now for some more magic moments at the ministry with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham and the men from the ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In a normal office, people soon notice if a colleague is acting strangely. At the ministry, of course, peculiar behaviour doesn't seem so unusual. But even here, it is eventually spotted.
I'm worried about Mr. Lime, sir.
Yes, well, aren't we all, Mildred? You're thinking of his plan to grow potatoes in the window box.
Well, no, he's always had funny little ways with flowers, hasn't he? What worries me is he's gone so normal. I mean, he shuts himself in his office all day, reading and making notes.
Yes, it is curious now you mention it. Yesterday afternoon he seemed quite listless when we were playing ping-pong on the computer. Couldn't wait to get back to his desk.
He's sitting there now, hunched over some books. He hasn't shouted or fallen over for hours.
Very odd. Perhaps we should have a word with him. Yes. Morning, Two.
Morning, one.
Lovely day, isn't it? Feel like a stroll in the park or a spot of croquet on the roof?
Afraid not, one. I've got work to do, but thanks for asking.
Work, Two? Not that Ministry of Transport job.
What's that, sir?
Oh, they want to slow down traffic on the Snedfield motorway. I told them we'd sleep on it. Yes, we can make that last for months, you know. Provided Mr. Lamb isn't being impetuous.
No, it's not that one. I'm studying.
Studying?
Yes, I'm taking this correspondence course. How to be popular and dynamic for £1 a week.
Oh, so that's it, eh? Oh, dear. More money down the drain.
Not at all, one. It's doing me good already. Sir Gregory is very pleased with me.
Blimey. The permanent undersecretary's pleased with you, Mr. Lyon.
At last he seems to realise how valuable I am. Only yesterday he said I ought to be locked up.
Oh, Sir Gregory rang just now. He's coming to see you both.
Oh, dear me. Look, better clear that rubbish off your desk, too.
It isn't rubbish. The Royal School of Dynamism is unique.
The Royal School?
Yes, next week I get a diploma from the principal, Tobias J. Royal. A real diploma for only £5 extra. He's very pleased with me.
Yes, I can imagine. Sounds to me like an absolute charlatan.
Never. I'll bet he's a rotten swindler. You know, you want to watch it, Mr. Lamb. There's a lot of evil people about.
Not that many, surely, Mildred.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Gregory. Sir Gregory. Oh.
Why is Lamb sitting there baring his teeth at me? Are you being moronic, Lamb?
No, Sir Gregory, dynamic. I'm smiling, you see.
Look the other way, Sir Gregory, then you won't see it.
I'm here to talk about security. It's time we tightened up ministry crime prevention.
Ah, now I agree, sir. Yes, I've always felt our safe should have a door on it.
As it is, anyone can just walk in and take our teapot.
I'm talking about documents and money being transferred between buildings. From now on, these will be carried in our new super security van.
Oh, good. Then I shan't have to cycle from the bank every week with the Ministry of Wages.
No.
I've always thought we needed safer methods.
Safer methods, exactly. If you've got that into your head, you've got it in a nutshell.
I mean, last week I had to balance the cash box and my weekend shopping on the handlebars.
Indeed.
And a cucumber I bought for Mrs. Bradley, and a night shirt I had to collect.
Two, please. We don't want it. A new security van, Sir Gregory. Well, that sounds interesting.
Yes, it has a foolproof operating system to deal with any emergency.
Ah, well, perhaps you'll have a chance to see it, sir.
You'll have a chance to drive it, Lennox-Brown, tomorrow, on its trial run to the Bank of England.
Oh. Yes. Well, now, I didn't ask to drive it, Sir Gregory. I mean, these vans, well, you know, they do get attacked, and my bowler hat isn't bulletproof. And I do...
Lennox-Brown, the whole point of this van is it's safe from attack. Any weak-kneed fool can operate it.
Thank you, Sir Gregory.
Well, I'm glad I'm having nothing to do with it.
Well, you'll have plenty to do with it, Lamb. You're going with Lennox-Brown as security guard.
Oh, glory, surely.
Will you give me a cosh, Sir Gregory?
Any time, Lamb. With pleasure. But this van isn't intended for professional guards. It's for use by ordinary ministry staff. That's why you are to test it.
I'd hate to be hijacked tomorrow. It's Kipper night.
In the unlikely event of anyone wanting to hijack you, they'd be foiled immediately by a homing device.
A homing device, sir?
In an emergency, the van returns to base quickly and automatically by radio control steering.
I say, my landlady could do with one of those to get her back from the pub.
Well, sir, as you've set us this task, we shall see it through, sir. Oh, yes. Just you leave it all to us, sir.
I shall certainly not leave it all to you, Lennox-Brown. I'll be in the control room here in radio contact throughout your journey. Now be ready to leave at midday.
Yes, sir. Lennox-Brown to base. Lennox-Brown to base. Van traveling eastwards. All systems, roger. How do you read me?
Like an extremely boring book. Cut out all that Roger nonsense. Tell Lamb to give me your position.
Yes, sir, Mr. Gregory. He's sort of hunched up over the wheel. I'm eating my packed lunch with my nose resting lightly on the windscreen.
I want to know the van's position.
Oh.
We are in Trafalgar Square, sir.
Very well. I want you to try a fast acceleration as if in emergency. Pull the blue lever by the passenger seat, Lamb.
I've done that, sir. Oh, this is exciting.
We're going too fast for comfort, sir.
All right. Ease off the lever, Lamb.
I can't, Sir Gregory. My meat pie is stuck behind it.
Good Lord, can't you do anything right? But better switch on the throttle control. Listen carefully. It's the red switch.
Yeah, found it. I've done it, Sir Gregory.
The red switch on the floor, not the one on the dashboard. That's evasive action.
Oh, dear. Too late, silly me.
Oh, we're swerving from side to side. What have you done to you?
I don't know, but I think we're being followed. I'll press this anti-following button.
Here is a message for motorists. A security van is out of control in the West End of London. Having zigzagged north from Whitehall, it drove down the Burlington Arcade and emerged with a commissionaire sitting on the bonnet. Its now doubled back and is speeding round and round the statue of Eros in Piccadilly Circus, chased by 3 police cars. It's belching blue smoke and firing rubber bullets. Motorists are advised to avoid this area. And now, back to Desert Island Discs.
Excuse me, Sir Gregory. Can I come in the control room? I hear there's a bit of trouble.
No, the fools, the idiots! The van's out of control, they're out of control, and so am I. Lamb must have broken the radio. All I was getting was the news in Welsh, and now it's packed up altogether.
Here, look at that street map on the wall.
What?
There's a little light moving along.
Well, that moving light represents the van's position so that I can keep track of them.
Blimey, are they going fast? Right up the middle of that big blue road.
That big blue road is the River Thames.
Hello, they're back on the embankment. The light's moving even faster.
Yeah.
It's coming down Whitehall.
Ah, thank heavens they've switched on the homing device.
They'll soon be back here.
It can't be soon enough for me. Just wait till I get my hands on them.
They're coming straight at the ministry. Towards us.
Good Lord! They're not slowing down.
Quick, Sir Gregory, under the table.
Oh, me foot! And me lovely new security van.
Yeah, and look what they've done to your wall. But what went wrong, Mr. Lennox-Brown? They said they'd made the van foolproof.
Well, they hadn't met a fool like Lamb. Pulled all the wrong levers, pressed all the wrong buttons, and made every possible mistake.
Honestly? Every possible one?
Those he missed on the journey he made when we stopped. It's like trying to open the door and switching on the emergency locking device.
So that's why you were both locked in there.
Yes, and those were the longest 3 days of my life.
It's lucky I could feed you through the ventilator.
Yes, well, thank you very much, Mildred. But I never want to see another miniature Swiss roll as long as I live.
Well, it's the only thing that would fit. And I suppose the Sir Gregory bit was another wrong switch.
Which Sir Gregory bit?
When he approached the van and a boxing glove shot out on the end of a spring and hit him.
Yes, that was Lamb. But I still can't forgive him.
Oh, poor Mr. Lamb. I hear he was deaf and blind for an hour after the crash.
Only because it jammed his bowler hat down over his face. Now, don't waste your sympathy, Mildred. I've had enough of Lamb's incompetence. Yes, he's got to go.
Mr. Lamb?
Mm-hmm.
Go?
Yes.
You couldn't, sir.
My mind's made up. This is the last straw. He hangs round my neck like a...
Millsbone?
I was going to say millstone, but yours is better. So I shall ask him to resign.
Sorry I'm late, Mum, but I had to see Matron. She put another plaster on my nose.
Poor Mr. Lamb, you look horrible.
Thank you, Mildred.
Why on earth are you wearing khaki shorts?
My trousers got torn in the accident. I'm waiting for Mrs. Bradley to patch them.
She needn't bother to. Not now.
Oh, you like the shorts, do you?
Sure, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk with you. Mildred, make Mr. Lamb some tea, would you please? Very strong.
Yeah.
Righty-ho, sir.
Mildred, please, don't keep saying righty-ho. You know it upsets me.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Sit down, too.
Righty-ho, Mum.
You and I have been working together many years now.
Yes, and hasn't it been fun?
Yeah. Yes, well, it's been a long time, too, but nothing lasts forever, you know. The time has come when I need a quiet life. I'm not getting any younger, and I can't take the strain anymore.
I quite understand, Mum.
You do?
Yes, if you want to retire, don't worry about me. You go right ahead and resign.
Me resign? What are you talking about? I want you to resign.
What? But what have I done?
What have you done? I can't begin to give you a list.
But I couldn't leave the ministry. Where could I go? What could I do?
Well, you needn't leave altogether. I could fix you a job downstairs. Something more suited to your talents.
You mean in the filing section?
No, in the boiler room.
Please give me one more chance. Well, perhaps a couple of chances to be on the safe side.
No, I'm sorry, it's not only me, you know. Sir Gregory went berserk when you wrecked that van, especially as he came to rest on his foot. He's still hopping mad at you.
Last paragraph, Miss Bentwater. Furthermore, as Richard Lamb is totally unsuited for employment within the civil service, for the 78 reasons listed above, I strongly urge his instant and ignominious dismissal. Stop. I am, sir, your obedient servant, G.O.D. Pitkin. That will be all, Miss Bentwater. At least, until this evening, shall we say, 6:30. Run along now back to the typing pool. Oh, you provocative little minx, you. I've got rid of Lamb at last, after all these nightmare years. Oh, I think this calls for a large brandy. A day to remember and cherish. Oh, blast. Come in.
I'm afraid I'm a little early for our appointment, Sir Gregory.
Oh, yes, you're the fellow from the Ministry of Technology. Well, come in, do.
Bunsen, Dr. Bunsen. I'm their industrial psychiatrist.
What? Psychiatrist? Well, there's nothing wrong with me. Just because I threw that typewriter through the window last week.
No, Sir Gregory. I'm an industrial psychiatrist. And I'm here to talk about one of your staff, Richard Lamb.
Lamb? Oh!
You know the man? Could we have a word about him?
I can think of several, yes. But don't worry. I've just arranged his dismissal.
What? Oh, but you can't. You mustn't. I mean, he's invaluable.
He should be gone within it. What did you say? Invaluable?
Yes.
Richard Lamb is of no value whatsoever. Whatever task he's given, if it's possible to make a mistake, he'll make it.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. At the Ministry of Technology, we need someone like Lamb because of his unique ability to make every possible mistake.
Well, I don't understand.
We want to test any new device on Lamb. Now, if he can't make it go wrong, we'll know that no one can.
Oh, no.
That security van has already been greatly modified as a result of what he did.
So you actually think he's valuable?
And we're most anxious to have him working for us. But we can't tell him why. That would spoil his spontaneous flair for creating chaos. The Prime Minister wants you to talk to him. Persuade him to accept promotion with us.
Yeah, but if I talk to Lamb for more than 30 seconds, I feel like biting him.
If you can get him for us, it'll be a great feather in your cap, Sir Gregory.
Well, that's different.
Please see him soon. You see, he's building an international reputation as a great fool. We think the Americans are after him.
I'll see him tomorrow, Dr. Bunsen.
And remember, don't kill his natural stupidity.
That would be very difficult.
Mr. Lennox-Brown was really nasty, Mildred. He said if I wasn't gone in a week, he'd cut off my extension.
Poor Mr. Lamb, it's a blooming shame.
Then he had the cheek to offer me a job in the boiler room.
Oh, what a stupid idea. We don't want the central heating going wrong.
Well, I don't care now. Guess what I got in the post this morning?
That plastic duck you saved the soap coupons for?
No, even better than that. The correspondence course, I've got my diploma.
Your diploma?
Yeah, you remember, the Royal School of Dynamism. I'm now a licentiate.
Oh.
Look at this. Gold letters. And real cardboard. It says, "This is to certify Richard Lamb."
Well, is that all?
Yes. No. And this is to certify Richard Lamb has completed his studies in business and personality development.
Congratulations, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Mildred. This will make a big difference to my life. I don't care about the ministry anymore. Big firms will be bidding for my services. Hello, Richard Lamb, business licentiate.
Good day to you, Mr. Lamb. My name is Nathan B. Lockheed of the United States Department of Technology.
Yes, can I help you?
I will take an affirmative position on that, Mr. Lamb. That is to say, yes.
I beg your pardon?
I am in telephonic communication with you, Mr. Lamb, as I am desirous that you and I undertake personalized social contact. That is to say, can you have lunch with me today?
Thank you very much.
In view of your immediate and welcome acceptance, I will arrange for expeditious transportation. That is to say, my car will pick you up at 12 o'clock. Bye.
Goodbye. I say, some American wants to take me out to lunch.
Never.
Yes. He must have heard about my diploma. You see, Mildred, I really am popular and dynamic.
You could have fooled me.
Oh, waiter, I'm expecting a Mr. Lamb for an appointment lunch-wise. He's very late. You haven't seen him by any chance?
Would he be a civil service gentleman, sir?
Correct.
Well, sir, a gentleman with a bowler hat and briefcase walked into our garbage lift by mistake. He's just been found upside down in a bin of old Brussels sprouts and potato peelings.
Oh, that's the guy. That's just got to be him. He sounds perfect.
He would appear to be accident-prone, sir.
Great, just great.
When he went to wash and brush up, he entered the ladies' powder room in error. And then he rushed out and fell over the sweet trolley. Oh, this is him now with the sherry trifle on his shoulders.
I say, I'm Mr. Lockheed. Are you Nathan B. Lamb? Oh, silly me.
Look, sit down, Mr. Lamb. Relax. Oh, and boy, have I got a proposition for you, job-wise. Okay, waiter, bring us the menu.
Very good, sir.
Now listen to me, Lamb. What do you earn? Just give me a rough figure.
£6 and 3
For a man of your caliber, £6 per hour is poor.
No, not £6 an hour, £6 a week. You see, I'm still grade M.
If you come and work for us, we'll give you 10 times what the head of your department now earns salary-wise. Say, £50,000 a year.
What about lunch vouchers?
Oh, sure, anything.
What sort of job is this?
Experimental work, testing things.
Oh, I love trying anything new.
Yeah, so I've heard. Work for us, Mr. Lamb, and you'll find wall-to-wall carpets, piped music, colored fountains playing all day.
Is that my office?
No, that's your secretary's. Yours is bigger, better. Waiter, 2 bottles of champagne.
Hello, everyone. Here I am, dynamic, popular Richard Lamb.
So you're late. And how dare you enter the office carrying 3 champagne bottles and smoking 2 cigars?
I'm sorry I'm late, old fruit, but my jacket got jammed in the restaurant revolving doorways.
If you carry on like this, you'll be leaving sooner than you thought.
Suits me. I just had an offer, job-wise. I'm going to be part of the brain drain.
Really? Who drained yours?
They want me in America to join their Department of Technology. Tech there to make a lot of money.
You? Oh, don't make me laugh, too.
Mind you, I couldn't accept.
Why not, Mr. Lamb?
I fell asleep under the table. Mr. Lockheed's phoning me tomorrow, and I'll take the job. He offered me $60,000 a year.
Am I dreaming?
But I pushed him up to $50,000. All thanks to my correspondence course.
My dear fellow, you're here, are you? Nice to see you.
And very nice to see you, Sir Gregory.
Oh, not you, Lennox-Brown.
Oh.
I want to have a word with my friend young Lamb here.
I am dreaming.
More like a blooming nightmare.
Sorry I'm late back from lunch.
Late? My goodness, why not? All work and no play makes Dick a dull boy, what? What?
I was out with this American gentleman.
What? American, you say? Not the Department of Technology, I hope.
Yes, the Department of... what you said.
He didn't offer you a job, did he?
This will amuse you, Sir Gregory. It certainly made me laugh. Lamb says he did.
What, Lennox-Brown? Offered you a job, eh, Mr. Lamb? Well, we shan't let him steal your unique talents from our shores. I'm sure you don't really want to go and work for these American chaps, do you?
Excuse me, sir, but there's 2 men outside wanting to see Mr. Lamb urgently. A Russian and a Chinese gentleman.
Look, tell them Mr. Lamb can't see them.
Oh, radio, sir.
No, I was saying, Mr. Lamb, I'll outbid these foreign fellas. Here, have another cigar. One of yours has gone out.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Now, our chaps want you to start at once. There's a new time lock fitted to our safety vault. Dr. Bunsen wants you to test it tomorrow.
All right, Sir Gregory.
Look, why don't we toddle down to my club and celebrate your promotion? Have a chat and a couple of brandies, what?
Yes, let's. After you, Gregory.
Not at all. After you, Richard.
Well, we're all set. Lamb is ready to test the time lock.
Can you explain, Dr. Bunsen, why Lamb's so vital to your work? I still find it so hard to grasp.
Well, he's ideal for testing any new device. If it's possible to make a mistake, Lamb will make it.
Oh.
We can then modify the equipment so that it's really foolproof.
You might say Lamb is a sort of foolproof fool.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'll just slip next door and start him off. A final check, Mr. Lamb. As you see, the door is controlled by a time lock. We want you to set it to close for 48 hours.
I see.
We've every confidence in you, Mr. Lamb, so we'll just leave you to get on with it in your own way. See you later. Well, he started, gentlemen. Is he coming through on the closed-circuit television?
All too clearly. Oh, now we'll see what Lamb gets up to when he thinks no one's watching.
You see, it has to be done this way. If he knew he was being observed, he'd get self-conscious.
Good Lord. Look what he's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
I think he's going to balance his bowler hat on it.
I wish he'd stop fooling around with his umbrella and get on with the lock.
He's dropped the lot.
He's starting on the time lock now.
Dear me, he's setting it outside the door. I thought he'd be stupid enough to set it from the inside.
He's setting the time now, isn't he?
Good Lord, it's absolutely correct.
He's on to the day on our levers. Oh, he's getting them right, too.
This looks bad. He should have made 3 mistakes by now.
Well, give him time, Dr. Bunsen. He's always a slow starter.
Now he seems to be looking at himself in the shiny door.
Ah, yes, this is promising. He's pulling funny faces at his own reflection.
No, I'm afraid not. That's his normal expression.
Good grief. He shut the door and timed the handle correctly. Oh, but this is hopeless, utterly hopeless.
Incredible.
He's a failure, a total failure. He could have done all sorts of stupid things. I expected him to lock himself in.
Typical. Lamb hasn't made a single mistake. Now wait till I get my hands on him.
We'll have to go through and tell him. We certainly can't use him anymore. Mr. Lamb, I'll be as tactful as I can. You're no good. A complete dead loss.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
That's just it, too.
You're no good to us now, and the Americans won't want you either.
But why not?
Not quiet, Lamb. Get back to your office. Come along, gentlemen. No need to waste any more time here.
They don't want me. The Americans don't want me. But I'm dynamic. It says so on my diploma.
How did it go, Mr. Lamb?
I can't understand it, Mildred. I did everything right, and they all told me off and walked out.
Are you sure you did it right? Perhaps you better check.
Well, all right. I hadn't locked it, and I left the light on inside. No wonder they got upset.
Yeah, now careful, Mr. Lamb.
It's all right, Mildred. I'll just release the catch so that it locks properly. Then I'll go in and put the light off, and I'll pull the door shut.
No, Mr. Lamb, not while you're inside. Oh, Mr. Lamb, you've done it now. It's all your fault. Help, Mr. Lamb's locked in.
Muddling through as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley and John Graham. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.